I'm not a great cook, and I don't particularly enjoy it either, but cooking at home is the primary way to save money on food and groceries. So today I'm walking you through the steps that I use to cook at home more and spend less money eating out so that you can save money. Hey guys, my name is Jen. I am the creator of Modern Frugality, and I am here to help you spend less so that you have more discretionary income to do great things with. And there is no place where people spend more money than housing and food. And since you're already paying for housing, might as well get the most bang for your buck and eat at home. I recently made a few videos to help you clear out your pantry and budget for groceries. I will link to those in the description, but this one is specifically for creating a habit of following through with your meal plan and cooking at home more. This is not meant to make you a great home chef. If that were possible, I would be doing it, but I'm not. So I am just sharing with you how I created a habit for myself to eat at home more. And there's really just 6 tips that I follow. And I know you guys love grocery videos and food spending videos, so I definitely have more of those planned. So if you want more of that, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the like button so that I know you want more of stuff like this. The first tip that I use to create a habit of eating at home more is to spring for a meal planning service. So the fact that the first way I'm telling you to save money is to spend money is suspicious. I get it, but stay with me. For less than $2 a week, I eliminate the time suck that it takes to think about what to eat, to think about the recipes, to search for the recipes, because once I figure out I want a casserole, there are 10,000 casseroles, and then I think maybe I want a Greek casserole, and then there are 500 of those. So it really saves so much time. And for the amount of time it saves me, I will gladly pay the $1.60 per week. And the planning part can be such a barrier to entry for some people. While I do love meal planning and I love the planning portion of it, it does take some time. And some seasons, I just don't have that time. So buying a meal planning service really does benefit me, and it eliminates that question of what's for dinner. And that to me in itself is like the biggest relief. And there are a lot of meal planning services out there for different dietary restrictions, different budgets and stuff. The 2 that I like the most right now are CookSmarts and Eat at Home. CookSmarts is the one I use most often. I have been quoted as saying I am obsessed with CookSmarts because it really incorporates all of the things that I love and preach on with meal planning into this really affordable meal planning service. So every week incorporates ingredients from previous weeks, so that reduces food waste and it also saves money. And it gives you variety without being really complex. So if there's something that's new and unique, that's fun, that's exciting. There's maybe like one of those per week. And then you also get like a video and a description of how to do that cool thing. So it kind of expands your cooking abilities without being so difficult that you feel intimidated. I also love that CookSmarts only does 4 meals per week. That makes it great for people that are just starting out and maybe busier, don't have time to cook 7 days or 6 days a week. You have 4 recipes for dinner every week that are incorporating ingredients from everything. And then that leaves like 3 days a week for a freezer meal, a frozen pizza, and having wine for dinner, if that happens to you. Eat at Home is a meal planning service that I just recently found, and I think that one's really great for bigger families. So that one gives you 6 recipes per week. Does the same thing, incorporates similar ingredients, gives you access to all of the dietary meal plans. Both of them do. But something really unique about Eat at Home is that in addition to the regular meal plans, every month you get a freezer stash plan. So it is 6 meals that you can assemble in an hour that you can stick into the freezer so that you can have that go-to freezer meal once or twice a week. Because some weeks, some days just require a freezer meal that you literally don't have time to be chopping and everything. And like I said, both plans offer access to all of the dietary plans. They just differ a little. So Cook Smarts has paleo, it has vegetarian. Eat at Home has a no flour, no dairy, so that's its gluten-free, healthy one, but it still has carbs, where the paleo one at Cook Smarts doesn't have a lot of carbs. And then there's also like a slow cooker Instant Pot one for Eat at Home that Cook Smarts doesn't have. And then Eat at Home also has a whole food plant-based, so it's an entirely vegan version, whereas Cook Smarts has the vegetarian. So just pick one. They're both a similar price. They have monthly or annual, and then pick based on what your dietary preferences. They both have sample meal plans for free. You can get 30 days free with Cook Smarts. You can get a free week with Eat at Home. I'm going to put both of those links in the description so you can try both and see which platform you like. They're both great. It just comes down to what you like. If you are absolutely against paying for a meal planning service, or if it's just $80 that you don't have right now, then go ahead and theme every day of the week. So make your Mondays Meatless Mondays, Taco Tuesday, Italian Wednesdays, Frozen Thursdays. Do something that's consistent every week so it takes some of the thinking out of your meal planning. It just makes it quicker. And then also make sure those recipes are utilizing previous week's ingredients. And so I have a meal planning video. I'll link to that in the description too. That'll help you kind of figure out more of your meal planning if a service isn't what you want to go with. Second is to make friends with the freezer. So you heard me already talk about how much I love Eat at Home's freezer stash plan every month. And that's because freezer meals are clutch when you are trying to make a habit of eating at home. You have to accept that even once you develop this habit, that physically you may not be able to cook at home every night. And just because you cannot cook at home doesn't mean you can't eat at home. And that's where freezer meals come in. And it doesn't always have to be prepackaged frozen food, because we know that oftentimes that costs more. You can make freezer meals by either doubling something that you are making for dinner one night, or doing a bunch of soups. There are a lot of ways that you can make freezer meals quickly and have them on hand, but you should be making at least 4 every month, just so that you can have at least 1 per week to use, like 4 to 5 per month. You can assemble those really quickly on a Sunday night, and they really will save you a lot of time and eliminate the excuse of having to go out to eat if you don't have time to cook. Third is to meal prep. So meal prepping on Sunday saves a lot of time. You might be familiar with like fitness meal prepping, but that's not what I'm into. I really prefer to have a fresh cooked meal versus leftovers. So what I will do is on Sunday when I am making dinner, and while it's cooking, I'll do something that doesn't have to have a lot of active cooking on Sunday night. So while it's cooking, like maybe in the Instant Pot or in the oven, then I will be chopping all of the produce for the rest of my meals for the week. And so that saves me time during the week that I don't have to chop vegetables. I only have to wash my prep materials once, because I'm using them all right there instead of washing them every night. And it saves me time on measuring, because I'm pre-measuring everything as I put it into the container. So usually I will do this with produce and seasonings. I'll just throw it all in there. So whatever I'm making, I can just throw it really easily into a saute pan, into a bowl, oven, whatever, just to make it as easy as possible for myself to follow through with the meal plan. And this is something where you should be taking your schedule into consideration, because if there's a night where maybe you don't have enough time to cook, then maybe that's the time where you stick in your meal prep into the oven with your Sunday night dinner and save those leftovers for that really busy night. So be intentional with your schedule, look at what's coming up, and see if there is a meal that you do literally need to fully prep for that week. Fourth is to put eating out on the schedule. So I am not one who thinks you need to eat at home every single night. I really enjoy eating out. I'm not a foodie, I hate dishes and I don't enjoy cooking. So I love to eat out because it takes those things away from me. And I get to spend time with other people, having good drinks, good food. I love the experience of eating out. But when you are eating out as a resort to fulfill your hunger, it's not as enjoyable as eating out on purpose. So I want you to put eating out on the schedule, put it in there, put it in the meal plan so that it's a treat and it's not just a means to an end. And that way, when you spend the money on it, you feel good about it. You don't feel guilty. You're not sitting there ravished and hungry. You are there intentionally to be with friends or to have good food. And when you plan it this way, you can incorporate more new restaurants, more new cuisines, which can also help you with your meal planning. It can inspire you. You don't have to limit yourself. The budget doesn't mean that you don't include eating out at all. It just means you do it with intention. The fifth habit you need to cook at home more is to stay stocked with your essentials. So I'm a big fan of the capsule pantry. It's like a capsule wardrobe, but with food, which I much prefer. It just means keeping your pantry simple yet stocked with the things that you enjoy. So figure out the meals and snacks that you are buying out most often and see how you can replicate those easily. Once you get some entrees, some recipes that you make over and over and over, it'll be easier for you to create your capsule pantry. So this is something that will come with time. But there's probably already some things that you have all the time that you like to have on hand, but you're just not intentional with keeping them on hand. So I'll admit, like, one of mine is a frozen pizza. We love to have just a small thin crust frozen cheese pizza. Another one is this kale salad that I love to make. I will put the link in the description. I massage the kale for 60 seconds, totally transforms kale, but it's got this really simple dressing: lemon, oil, garlic, slivered almonds, and some Parmesan. And it's super, super simple, so I make sure that I always have those on hand because it's a salad I go to very frequently because I can make it fast. So I'm just intentional with keeping those things stocked at all times. So as you are doing this, you can make a list of what you want to keep stocked in your capsule pantry, and then get rid of the stuff that you barely use, and then don't buy it again. If there's something interesting that you want to try, maybe eat it out first. And then if it's something that you want to make frequently and include it in your capsule pantry, then put it in there. You'll save a lot of money in the long run. Last is to be flexible. You will have a list, you will have a meal plan, you will try your best to plan those out by day, but sometimes things come up. So you need to be flexible with the days you're cooking, the days you're using freezer meals and stuff like that. You'll get through the whole meal plan, but being prepped, having a capsule pantry, and like having a plan, this will help you be flexible and pivot when you need to. It'll keep you from resorting to fast food or quick service too, because you'll have those freezer meals prepped. You'll have that pasta and pasta sauce for a quick meal. Like, you just need to be prepared. And this comes with time. These habits build on themselves to eventually you'll get to the point where you're not resorting to running to Taco Bell or something. Use Taco Bell as a treat. and you'll have more to cook at home. But it really is important to have the resources and the knowledge and the skills on hand available to be able to easily pivot and be flexible, because that is the essence of life. Those are the 6 rules I use to limit my eating out and create a habit of cooking at home. I am not the best cook. You can ask my husband. One day you'll be able to ask my kid when he stops eating purees that I've pre-bought. But I still do it, and I'm still able to create better food every year and to save a lot of money cooking at home. I'm definitely going to be making more videos on how to save money by meal planning and meal prepping and stuff like that. I already have some. You can check them out over here. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can be the first to hear when I have all of the rest of them come out. So thanks so much for watching.